I would be over exaggerating to say everyone on VRChat plays as a girl. However, I think it makes up an extreme percentage. I want to clarify that I have no problem with this at all. You should use whatever avatar you want. It's more the spark of curiosity, and this video aims to be informational and insightful on why so many people, including males, use female avatars. I'll be throwing my personal thoughts on all of this as well. For those that are impatient or only wish to see specific portions of this video, there are timestamps down below. It's been on my mind a lot lately. It keeps coming up. It confuses people. Why do so many guys play as girls on VRChat? Well, if you think about it, like most topics I discuss, this branches out further than VRChat. You could find that many people across MMOs, RPGs, and really just any game that lets you create a character, there are a huge amount of guys who will play as female characters. What I'm trying to say is, this is nothing new. I made a Twitter post asking people to post pictures of their game characters to see what I would get. As you can see, there were a lot of female characters. Now, some of these are actually from females, but I would say 90+% of these are from male users. Most pictures are of VRChat characters, but some can be seen in other games, which really just backs up what I had just said about people playing as females in every game. Thanks to all the wonderful people that submitted their pictures for this video. Hopefully I used them all. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. Now, I do want to toss in something important on why I think people may be using female avatars over male avatars, in VRChat specifically. There are sites like Booth, Gumroad, and others that provide avatars and assets created by users. These sites are great for those looking to have their own avatar. The thing is, there is no shortage of female avatars. Looking for male characters and accessories can feel very limiting, while female creations feel near infinite. From personal experience, I felt a shift in how people treated me when I was in male avatars to female avatars. I'm not saying everyone will treat you differently, but there will be people that will. People tend to be friendlier and more interested in chatting with you when you use female avatars. From my experience, maybe I'm crazy, but if you want to add a comment on what you think, feel free to do so. I respond to just about every comment. There are many things I want to know about how the community feels about this topic, so let's go ask. Why do you think so many people on VRChat use female avatars?
I think it's mostly due to availability of models, like on Booth and Gumroad. Everyone just seems to make the things that they like, and everybody likes anime, so everyone's an anime girl.
I'm internally dying at this because there's multiple answers I can give.
Yeah, I mean, pop off.
The obvious one out of the way, sexual preferences. The idea of looking at something attractive. The majority of people that are in female avatars anyway, outside of females themselves, it's like makes up the base of the adult community, I should say. There's too many hypersexual adults that play this game, and anything that they can do to help exacerbate and exaggerate their sexuality, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And being in a female avatar helps a lot with that, due to they know what they like, and they know that if they meet somebody that's similar to them, they already got it on their avatar, and they could go mingle and do whatever. There's people like me, however, I mean, for video games in general, I always made a female character model. I've been doing it since I was a kid. Everybody asks me why, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know, and let's do it. It does help though that I can do things with it that would be a little fun. I do think, however, that a lot of it needs to be toned back because there's just too many people in these sexualized avatars. There are some cute ones, there are some wholesome ones, but the majority of them aren't.
Even before I started playing this game, like I feel like it's kind of this thing where, as a guy, and you're playing a character, and it's like you're looking at this character and you're gonna want to like look good, you know, and even in like RPGs or like MMOs, you know, usually like a lot of people will go towards like female characters or, you know, or like heavily masculine or like that. But I think for this game where you're like actively like 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 kind of the narcissism or like the mirrors in every world, you're always gonna be looking at yourself, and you're gonna want to be looking at something that you find is aesthetically like pleasing to your eye.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of really normalized, so it's not like it's weird to like do that or whatever. But and also, I think the state of male avatars, at least for like VRChat, I feel like good male avatars are kind of hard to come by, and it's easier to find a female avatar and like tune it to how you would like it to look, versus like finding a male avatar and not being happy with it, or like trying to like portray something, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just to look cute, man. Everyone here is pretty cultured, I would say, right? Everyone knows, like, everyone loves anime, right? We're all like little weebs running around. And I do think that, like, generally speaking, like, it's just nice, right? To do something a little bit different out of the box comparative to like real life, right? We're all just a bunch of dudes, but like, it's nice to feel like a girl, I guess. I don't know if that's a good way to put it. Yeah. And also, especially on here, right? I mean, what I found was that for me personally, it was just like female avatars just generally looked better than the male ones do. So that's kind of why like I even started. But then like you start using it, right? And then you get like a whole kind of personality shift a little bit. It's kind of like small, you're still the same person, but like it's there for sure. I've been told that I became a bit more fruity.
I see what you're saying.
After like a year, yeah. Like right now, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a good question. I thought about that a lot because when I first came into the game, I used male avatars, but very quickly switched to female avatars. I want to say specifically because there are just better female models than there are male models. When you look at the variety of female models, even though there's still not that much difference between the types of models that are used, there's just vastly more different bases for females, whereas the male models have like, 3, 4 that are still vaguely all the same in some way, shape, or form. So I find it is more than likely, just because people have so many more different types of female avatars to use, that it is just more common. That's how I think it is anyway, because myself, I'm included in that. I like the female models better because there's just more variety, whereas the male models, it's like big buff e-boy, small e-boy, anime dude, and that's just kind of it. Like,
yeah,
that's about it. You like, when was the last time you've played VRChat, if you play it frequently, that you've seen a male model that's not from a video game that looks really, really unique, that didn't look like somebody else's in some way, shape, or form?
I feel like it's more or less having your own like embodiment within the game and like feeling like yourself. Like, it's like VRChat's like a fantasy world, basically. I feel like you could be whatever you want to be and make yourself feel normal, at least. And majority of that people's norms are being female, just like me. I feel I was a male before this, and I feel like being in the female avatar just makes me feel like myself sometimes.
Probably the biggest reason why people use female avatars in VRChat is the abundance of outfits that are currently available for them, and that might due to certain popularity with a certain fan bases, like people that like anime liking avatars that are based on certain characters. They might go towards that.
No, I'm pretty sure everyone's got a different answer for that. I can't speak for other people, but for myself, I'd say I do it because, it's for a couple of different reasons. I don't think you can say it's one reason. Like, I think I wear it because I think, 1, it's cute. 2, I like to look at things that I think are cute. So that's more than enough reason already right there. But also, like, it gives me like an outlet to like explore that like feminine part of myself that I really have to like suppress IRL, so that's comforting.
Yeah.
It's just it's freeing, and also there's the practical part about it, because I think just most people feel that way, or at least the looking at cute part. So most of the people who are skilled enough to actually make avatars, make girls. Like, I think it's part of like human nature to go for cute shit.
Yeah. Do you use female characters in other games? And if you do, what games?
Yeah, I use female avatars in other games. The Elder Scrolls series comes to mind, just with making different characters, different models. Anytime I'd be staring primarily at something, I just figured I could stare at the back of a male character, I could stare at the back of a female character. I'd prefer the female character myself.
Sometimes it's like indefinite that I have to be a female avatar, because sometimes like in VRChat I really like the OC I made, and I really like to recreate it within other games, such as a big game that I played in the past was Final Fantasy, and I played Final Fantasy 14 like in like a ungodly amount before VRChat, and I really like the clothing designs and outfits within the female like categories, and it felt more fun to me in a way, because clothing designs and like it just freshened up my entire like look into the clothing industry, and like I really like how they combine other things together, like with the females and everything else. Sometimes the male avatars could like pop off, but it varies really like rarely. Like in Monster Hunter, I made a male character and all the male armor stats are really nice, and compared to the female avatars, I mean female comparisons.
Yeah.
But you know, you win some, you lose some. I really like the female avatars in some games.
It kind of depends on the game. Like, I used to play MMOs a lot, and I would usually pick the female avatars because, honestly, I will be completely truthful here. Horny teenager, and I saw boobs and ass, and I was like, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
But for me to pick male characters in video games, they need to, like, look really cool, really badass and awesome. I don't want, like, a generic edgy looking boy. I want somebody that's like clad in heavy armor that looks like the ground shakes when he walks, right? And there are games like that. Dark Souls, for example, you can just be that guy that looks like you mess with me and you're getting the short end of the stick here, right? So Elden Ring, for example, I usually play males. I will play female characters occasionally because I'll run through the game multiple times over, but I'll play both. But I'd prefer to play males in most games now as compared to back then when, you know, hormones.
I do. Mainly in MMOs, right? Like I always create a female character, and I've started creating female characters for Monster Hunter as well. I don't know. It kind of started around when I was like 16 or so. I don't know. I was like, let me just try something new. And then I ended up sticking with it. First, I do kind of mix around. I sometimes do start as a male, depending on what game I'm playing. For more Western games, I do choose like male characters rather than female ones. I don't know why. It ends up happening. It's very weird. Yeah. But when I get that, you know, those Bandai Namco games, right? Say we're playing like some sort of SAO game and you get to make your own character. Yeah, I'm making a female. I'm making a cute girl for sure.
Well, I mean, I can answer for which games. I mean, just any other game that I find interesting that has a player customization option. Usually, obviously, like MMOs, I'll try to do a female one. Cyberpunk, I default to female V. Speaking of which, everybody just calls me V, no relation.
I play female characters in other games. Most games, it just depends on like the cosmetics in the game. If I like Monster Hunter, I like the male armors more, so I play a male character. But other games, I tend to play female characters more just because of cosmetic reasons.
Yes, everyone, all of them. I do it to my own detriment, to the point where like I don't like playing as men in any game, like at all.
Yeah.
Like unless like even the games, like I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, and like I just don't play the guys. I just don't. I only play. I just only play the girls. And every game I have a custom character. Like I love character design and whatnot. Like I will spend hours making my character in a new RPG. Always been a girl. Always. Since I was a kid. The only games I play guys are the ones where you have to.
Yeah, mostly I do. Like I said, like MMOs, like Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I have an aura. And I think if I had the choice between like a male and like a female character, I think I would kind of go with whatever looks better or like what kind of theme. I'm really big on like theming in games and that kind of thing. But I think the biggest part for that is I like character design, and females just they you know, game companies know who they're
Yes.
they're making their games for, you know.
Yeah, they know their audience. That's for sure. Do you think people treat you differently on this game if you were to use a male or a female avatar?
Oh, definitely, because people suck. Yeah, people will judge you on your avatar for sure, no matter what. Like, that's why you got to wear what you like and do it for yourself, because it doesn't matter if you wear what you want to wear or if you wear what you think they want you to wear. They're going to be pissed off and judge you for it no matter what. So just do it for yourself. Wear what you like, what makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
So yes, people will judge you, whether and they'll treat you differently based upon what you are. I mean,
Honestly, and this is from personal experience, there are people who will treat you differently for using the male avatars. I've listened to a lot of conversations because I like to be in public worlds a lot of the times with random people that I don't know. I've told plenty of friends, you know, if you want to talk to me, I'm not joining you in the private world when I'm in a public that you can join off of. And if you're afraid of like these ever so present crashers you always complain about that I never see, don't join me. And I hear a lot of people who will be like, that guy uses a generic e-boy model, I don't even want to talk to him. Or, okay, you're in a booth model, that's fine, those are nice models. And I'm sitting here like, can somebody just use a model and be accepted by everybody? Like, what? That seems so elitist. I'm glad it's a very small minority of people that do that, but yeah, to answer the question, it does seem like there are a small amount of people that will judge you based on the avatar that you use. Even in the booth avatar community, there's one, I think it's the Maya, however you say his name, that people, no, Rindo, that's the one, Rindo, that there seems to be such a massive amount of hate for some reason. I'm like, it's a cute booth model. Can somebody just use it and not have somebody breathe down their neck about it? I think it's kind of dumb, but I mean, it's the internet and people are like that, right?
I get like a wow factor from people because they rarely see me in a male avatar unless I'm like goofing around. I help my friend Sassafras with his YouTube videos. He does stuff with the VRChat and Chill Studio, and sometimes they need other characters to fit certain roles and certain avatars. Now I might not always have an avatar for the scene, so I'll swap into a male avatar. Sometimes I'll forget that I'm in it because we just went and partied right after the set. I don't really get treated any differently, but because of my manner and how I act with people, some of my friends are like, so what are you going to do in that?
Possibly. I think there kind of is like this thing where there isn't really that many male avatars, and even if like that kind of like there's kind of like this like division between like avatar users, you know. And it's like, yeah, you have your booth models and they're all like mostly female. You have like kind of like the K-pop groupie like booth models also, but you know, I think that's kind of like far in between. And then on the other spectrum is like, you know, like e-girls, e-boys, and then, you know, it's there's that division between like, you know, like mostly all females versus like kind of like a mix, but then like that kind of community is kind of like like up and down also, you know.
I've definitely seen that people do get treated differently in a female avatar versus a male avatar. Normally the male avatar, so they would have to fight for attention versus female avatars. It just seems like more people are interested in talking to female avatars than male avatars as a whole. That being said, the male avatars that do get attention normally have some sort of gimmick or they're entertaining versus just, oh yeah, it's a female avatar.
I think that there's some small degree of different treatment just between the different groups that I've seen. It's not necessarily an overwhelmingly like negative response if you're using a male avatar. It's just a lot more uncommon, but it's still, the same type of people that are wearing male and female avatars. So, friends are friends.
Maybe. It depends. It depends on the person. For me, I've always been seen in a female avatar, right? I do switch to male avatars for certain people. So there is that, because certain people are just like, yo, like, give me a male avatar for once. I'm like, okay, fine. And then, I switch to a random male avatar and they're like, oh, this actually looks okay. And I just stick with it, right? Because they enjoy it. And I'm like, I just want to make them happy. But, yeah, it definitely depends on the person. It's not, I don't know how to say it. Is it like, I don't know if it's judgmental, but it's kind of just like they have a preference, right? And they would prefer to see that. Like even me, like I would prefer to see everyone in like booth avatars, right? Like cute little anime girls running around or something. Like that's my preference. So it is there. And also you get attached to the crowd that you're kind of like a part of, like I use this avatar and I just see a whole bunch of people use it. I'm like, okay, I'm sticking with this group. It definitely does kind of set boundaries, unless your group is like very diverse from the get-go, then that's where it's different.
Oh, most definitely. I feel like using a male avatar, you don't like. I feel like being in the male avatar, people see you as, just that one dude, unless it's like attractive in some way. Like the ones I make is just cool looking male avatars. I can't really make it look, what other people make it look like sexy or stuff. But like, it feels more natural for me making male avatar look cool than like, e-boyish or sexy. I feel like being in this female avatar, people are more prone to talk to you because of a less like. But it feels more friendly when you see a female avatar than a male avatar. It's really difficult for me to speak to a male avatar unless they're coming towards me to speak to me instead.
Right.
But that's my honest opinion with talking to talking with a male avatar and a female avatar.
Cool. All right. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
We just started.
Thanks for the interview. Starts making Again, I want to make a point to say you should really use whatever avatar makes you feel comfortable. You shouldn't care what people think of your avatar. It's yours. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. I try to release a new video every other Wednesday, which may change in the coming days. I'd love to hear what you think about this topic or what you would like to see me do next, so leave a comment down below. As always, have a great one.